You're watching Samuel Goodwin on YouTube, and this is a titanium yo-yo. This is the float by Smashing Yoyos. I got this from a friend secondhand, so it was cheaper than if you would got one brand new. I don't think they're going to make these anymore, though, so it's a little bit special. I don't know how many there were, but I have this one. So this week, in a few different communities, people have been learning and mastering the beef hook. It's a trick I technically learned how to do some time ago, but it's more like 1 in 50 tries or so will get one, as opposed to I can just do it back to back like I have it down. There are other hooks that I am way more consistent with. For example, the Hitamasa hook. I can almost do that every time unless the wind is blowing especially hard. But this beef hook, it seems really simple, right? You make a trapeze, you swing the yo-yo, you do the hook, everything is done. But it's actually really hard. So I spent this week myself working on it some more to see if I can get a little more consistent, see if I could figure out what makes it actually work. And I've gotten closer at least, but it's still not totally down. Conveniently, this trick, because you just need a trapeze, it's really easy to just go back to back and just keep trying it. There's not a lot of setup, there's not a lot of steps. So you can get quite a few attempts in a short period of time. But it took quite a few attempts to get any number of these done. I think in almost 2 hours of trying, I managed to land 3 or 4. So I've gotten a little bit closer. I figured out a little bit about it, and I thought I should share those tips for you all who have also seen this beef hook stuff and are trying to learn it yourselves. So first, string tension, super important. If you do like this with your string and it looks like that, then you're gonna have a problem, because when you go to do the hook, that loop that's coming around is also gonna be all twisted up because there's tension in the string. So you need to check that every so often, because as you're doing more attempts, every time you throw, you're adding a little bit more tension to the string. And at some point you're gonna get enough where it's super twisty and you're just like hurting yourself. And if you continue to try, at that point, you're just making it harder on yourself and you're probably not gonna get it. Second is you need to take breaks. You need to stretch, you need to walk around a little bit sometimes. Yeah, definitely don't just sit there and stare at this for an hour or you will hate it and that will take away the fun. Third, when you're about to swing the yo-yo, you want to make sure that the loop for the trapeze is as far towards the end of your finger as possible. And the part that you're holding with your thumb is pulled all the way back as far as your thumb will go, so that the space between the two is as big as you can get. Because that way, what can happen is when the loop goes around the yo-yo, if these two strings are too close to each other, then the loop will hit the string on its way around and not be able to get around the yo-yo. But if you have that space, because you've separated them even before you start the trick, then the string that's going to your thumb will already be out of the way of the loop, so it won't interfere with the actual hook. This makes a huge difference. I got way closer, way more often when I made sure that that string was just towards the end of the finger. Fourth tip, things like hooks and also slacks to some extent, if you're outside and it's windy, that's not going to work very well. So I had to come back inside when I was working myself because I just could not do it outside. That wasn't going to work. Even the Hitamasa hook that I can for sure do like 99% of the time is hard to do when it's super windy. So maybe make it easier on yourself and find somewhere that's not in the air current. So last tip, when you go to swing the yo-yo over and you pull your finger out of the loop, you want to pull your non-throw hand back a little bit, which helps to give a little speed to the loop coming around. But you don't want to pull too much, because the more you pull this hand away from the yo-yo, the shorter you're making the loop to where you potentially don't have enough string anymore to get around the yo-yo. And this is like a weird habit that I have a lot. You'll see in a lot of these attempts where I pull my hand a little bit too far away, and I'm just making it worse for myself. So as much as possible, you want to try to not move your hands more than they need to move. But I think that's true for most tricks, so maybe that's just a generally good thing to practice. So that's it for this week. Good luck with your beef hooks. If you land one, you should totally send me a link of somewhere I can see it, because that would be cool if you can get it on film. I know when I try to film it, it takes like 45 minutes to get one, so no pressure. But if you get one, send me a link post it in the comments or something, or I can see. That'd be cool to see. Otherwise, I hope you're taking care of yourself and you're drinking water and you're doing something outside or walking around at least a little bit. Take care of your body, take care of your mind, and I'll see you next week.